Alright, so as you guys just saw in the beginning clip of this hip swinging Santa Claus, there's this box. This one is from 2001. The gear is split for the hips, and this arm is broken. So the arm probably just needs to be hot glued. So the only thing that sucks about ones that are dressed like these is taking the clothing apart. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do off camera. And then we will go from there. Alright, so once you get the clothes off, the belt accidentally came unhot glued from the pants. So it's alright just to dab a hot glue, and that'll be okay. The pants have to be hot glued back onto this part of the shirt anyways. There's 1, 2 pins right there that are being held on by these little black wheels. So I just gotta pry the wheels off, and then they could be hot glued back on so that we can get into this mechanism right here. And I'm probably gonna do the arm last because I'm still trying to figure out how to get into that part without taking too much of his clothing off. So yeah, so to take these off, I use a flathead screwdriver, and you basically gotta get underneath them and just pry it off. It's gonna take a few attempts, definitely a two-handed job, but I'm just kind of showing you guys this to demonstrate it. Oh, there it goes. And I decided to do this on the bed just because it's easier. I have a lot of stuff on the floor right now, also because I just vacuumed, but there it is. And then you could keep these. They don't, once you break them off, they don't hold back on as well, so you're gonna want to hot glue it. But then this pin, you just push through. If you have a little screwdriver or something to push it through as much as you can, just until you're able to get it out of there. So I'm gonna go get another tool to make that easier, and we'll go from there. And then this is what the pin looks like. There's some grease on it and whatnot, but then you can always use this to help get the other pin out. You gotta pull it right out of his butt cheek right there. So you have our 2 pins. They're greased up. I'm gonna put those over there. And that releases the whole top part. Just be careful because there's a lot of wiring in here, and the circuit board's in there. You don't want anything to come off. It's easier to repair, I mean, the one movement hip swingers, but like when they have bigger bases, like when they're rocking Randall and stuff, because the circuit board and everything's in there, whereas in these little base Santas, all the circuitry is up here, so you got to be careful about ripping something off. I prefer the small bases on the Santas like these versus the real big ones like the 1999 hip swingers by Gemmy. Like the base is so big for no reason, but I do like these. It's when you have to repair the mechs in here, you got to be more careful. All right, so Santa's in a bunch of pieces right now. This is the one leg. You don't have to take the leg entirely off. It just came off when I was moving it around. You could always leave it sitting on the little shaft right there like that. So I took the belt off, which is, it goes on the back side of this. Now this is attached by a little spring up there, but it's only attached to the front plate. So what you gotta do is you gotta take the spinny knob off. You could pry it with a screwdriver, which is what I'm gonna do, and then take these screws out. And there should be is there another screw in there? Usually there's 3, but it might just be the 2 on this one because it's smaller. I don't know. There is another screw. They hid it underneath the white paper here, so I couldn't tell if it was there or not, because I knew there was 3, but I couldn't see that one. Anyway, so the gear that we need to replace is this one right here. This one is okay, and on the left we have the old gear, and on the right we have the new gear, both 10 tooth. So we're gonna install them into the mech right now, or install the one, I should say. All right, the new gear's in. The mechanism's screwed back together. The belt's on. So it works, it's spinning. Now we just gotta put it back together and work on the arm after that. Okay, then we put it together like so. A piece of the plastic here for the bottom screw on this leg broke. It's not a big deal because each leg has 2 screws to hold it together and a pin which holds it onto the foot, but I mean, it was an inconvenience to say the least. So now I'm just gonna put the torso back on. We're gonna fix his arm then. Okay, I put, oh, grease on my camera. Recording with the mechanical grease. I got one of those back on. I couldn't find the other one. I don't know what the hell happened to it. It just disappeared. But like I said, hot glue works just the same. To be safe, I always put hot glue over it anyway. But this one is just hot glue. Like I said, it works just the same. It'll work fine. So yeah, now next we move on to gluing fixing the arm, then gluing the clothing back together. Okay, so unfortunately, oh, stay still, Santa. I had to cut the buttons off, which they actually are sewn to make the shirt close. So I'm just gonna have to hot glue the shirt closed and then hot glue the buttons back on very carefully. Turns out the arm is not snapped. Somehow this rod was completely out of socket. I don't know how, because there's ridges on there to hold it in. But, you know, the item is 23 years old. It could have been like that from the factory. Maybe it was never even inserted into there, because this one is in immaculate condition with the packaging. So it's possible it was just a factory error from the start. And I got this on eBay, so the people who I bought it from, you know, they just had it like that forever. So I'm going to add a dab of hot glue onto that rod, and then he will be good to go. Okay, he's all done.
I wish you a Merry Christmas.